Hello, Buick Rendezvous owners. So if you're watching this video, you're probably watching because you're having an acceleration issue right now with your car. It's very common on Buick Rendezvous, all generations from, I think it's '02 to '07 if I recall. A very common issue with these cars. You put your foot down, it gets sluggish. I'll actually do a little clip. I'll show you kind of what I mean by that in case some of you are kind of curious to what I'm talking about. But it's kind of common. It happens. There's all sorts of different speculations. It could be anything from cooling system to fuel pump, fuel filter, ignition system. All sorts of different things are speculated about it. Some people had whole transmissions completely replaced, and that doesn't always fix the issue. However, I have in the past seen this issue fixed with something called a vehicle speed sensor. It's on the transmission. I'll show you that in a bit as well. But first, I want to kind of replicate the issue and show you what that's about. So first, I'll take you on a quick drive in the car, let you see the issue just to make sure you're getting the same issue, and then from there I'll show you change the part. Hopefully that'll fix the issue this time as well. It has fixed it in the past, and we'll give that a try and see. And if that works out for you, you let me know in the comments below. Make sure to like and let me know. Alright guys, so we're going to attempt to replicate this situation now, just like I show you. Right now my foot planted. See that kind of, whoa. See that delay right there? This is the problem I'm talking about that happens with these cars. It's quite frequent with these cars. Happens quite often. Not a huge amount of times, but it does happen enough that it can be danger. Right now, put my foot down again. See, this time here, acceleration was pretty good. You see that kind of big kick up more so than normal with these cars. Let's see. Oh, there it goes. Bogs down again. My foot's planted right now, and it's not passing 2,000 RPM. My foot is down to the floor. Wow. Now, this issue here is very common on these cars, as I was just saying. When it does happen, it's normally when the engine's warm or on a hot day, although as it progresses, it gets worse and worse. It actually becomes to the point where it can start happening at any point. And it gets to the point where, as you just saw just now, where if you're trying to pass and you can't get past 2,000 RPM, that's a dangerous situation. You know, you put your foot down, you think your car's going to go, you start signaling, you enter the lane, and then all of a sudden you're not going to speed at all. It could cause quite a dangerous situation indeed, and plus it bogs the car down. Right now my foot's planted. Whoa. Right now, see, foot's planted down, it won't even pass 3,500, and it just skipped. So again, a lot of different things that can cause this very issue, although the vehicle speed sensor is very common. So we're going to go ahead right now and go underneath the car, take a look, and see what we have. Everyone, so I'm going to give you some quick kind of idea of where this is here. That's the sensor right there. I'm just pointing it out to you here. That's it right there. Obviously, you probably want to try and do this when it's a little cool because you're right beside all the mechanicals. So you'll see here, there's the plug. Now it's held in just with a simple clip. You could just take that off. It's a little awkward to get into though. And it's held over here. Let me just get around here. There it is. See it right up there. Let me just get the light on it for you guys. See there? It's held with one nut. Right there. There it is. See the nut? So it's held on there. You just have to use your socket. It's a little awkward to get to if you see, because if you look, here's your for those who are under the car. See them under here? You got your transmission pan right over here. Oil pan here. Just going to give you guys some context of where this is. Of course, there's your engine frame and everything. So here's a transmission. Let me just kind of get back here for you guys. Transmission's right here. And off to the right, right near the passenger side, that's where this is here. So you just got to take this little plug out here, and then the one screw back there. Let me come out of here so I can just show you guys what the new part looks like. This is what the new part actually looks like, and it's really all that simple. Getting zoomed in for you. Let me get some light. So that's what the part looks like. As you can see here, it's just a little plug. Just with a little clip, pretty standard stuff, and it just plugs right into the trans. That piece that you said that you saw with the nut, you take that off and you have to kind of put it around here, right around this part here, and then you bolt it back on, and that's it. Goes right in, bolt it on, plug it in, and that should hopefully fix the issue. We're going to give it a try now. I'm going to do some another couple clips as I take it off here, and any tips, just give me one moment, I'll be right back. So I'm getting ready to put the new sensor back in, but something I wanted to address with you guys just so you're aware. This is the old one. You can see it's a little now brighter, and you can see obviously the difference between the aftermarket. So everything matches up, plugs, everything like that. But there is two things to note. Let me get up close so you can really see the difference here. The first thing to note is that this clamp here is just clamped around the plug. So getting it off was quite a pain because it's held on. It's you know, it's the factory added and everything like that. So as you can see, it's kind of notched so it matches up, and it was on there. Like, you can't just go and wiggle it off. This is one piece, so you can't just go and take it off. So if you have a vise or anything like that, this is what I'd recommend. So ultimately, I mean, you don't care about this. It's going in the garbage anyways. I viced it. I clamped it in here. Here, let me just actually just do it so I can show you. Right, nice and clamped. Once it was clamped on, I put a screwdriver through the hole and popped it. That was the only way I can get it off. I tried using channel locks, you know, different screwdrivers. I tried using different things to pry it off. Ultimately, this is what worked. Putting it in there, torquing it off, and it flew right off, no problem. So I've put it on here, and I've used the same vise, and I kind of clamped it back on. The other thing to note on here is that once this is on and doesn't quite line up where the notches are, doesn't match up to where the factory one is. Not a big deal because there is some play in the plug to be able to install it where I need to install it, but it does kind of put it in a slightly awkward position. So I'm going to install it, put everything back together. Make sure you line it up just so if you do encounter this issue, make sure you put it in such a way that you can get the nut, bolt, everything in. As you can see, this should just clear it just enough. So yeah, but just make sure you give yourself enough playroom for that. If this doesn't line up exactly, you know, aftermarket how it is sometimes. This is not from the factory. I got this from an aftermarket dealer, so it's brand new, but it doesn't quite match up. So make sure you keep that in mind too. If you happen to buy aftermarket, if you go from the dealer, a little bit more money, but I imagine it's going to look exactly how this one looks. So bear that in mind. All right, guys.
So this is the final of the video now. Just really putting it all back together. It's really easy. If you look up here, I just plugged it right back in. The seal was nice and fresh. You can put a little bit of lubricant, not too much. You don't want it to really leak in, just a little bit, but it just fit in nice and flush. I've already put the clamp in, and I've put that first part of that nut from the earlier part of the video. I've already threaded it and tightened. Again, you just do it to hand tight, not very much pound-feet. I didn't check, to be honest, how much it is, but I'm assuming it's about 5 to 10 pound-feet. Not very much at all. Very, very little, basically hand tight. Once that's done, I'm just going to reach back here. Take that. This is going to be a little bit tricky. I don't know if I'll even be able to do this one hand. If not, there. Right? That's on there. That's not coming off. Good. And then just a matter now, as I was telling you guys before, you put that final nut on right here, and then you tighten it up against this, and you're done. That's it. Everything's put together. We're going to test drive it now just to be sure. If there's any other issues, I'll make sure to let you guys know. But otherwise, this normally does fix the issue, so we'll give this a try from here. Otherwise, guys, if you did enjoy the video, any tips or anything like that, any extra things that you want me to know about, make sure to put in the comments. If you get any other problems or anything like that on any other parts of the vehicle and need help, let me know. I can see what I can do to help you with that. Otherwise, keep watching and look for some more videos coming. Thanks for watching, guys. Appreciate it. Have a good day.
So I'll start off with the tools we really need to get this job done. I don't need much at all, as you can see here. Flathead screwdriver, something short. You can't really get. There's not enough space to get a long flathead in there. Something with a stubby handle, short nubby head at the top. That'll be nice and easy to go through. Optionally, if you have something like this, I actually found this will be a little bit easier too. I have a screwdriver with a little spike at the end to pick, so that was actually quite helpful. This is the tool you really need. 10 mil socket. That's the socket you need on there. Let's show you. Where are you? There you are. See? 10 mil. And of course, optionally, a 10 mil rich. Really, if you have one with a little curve at the end here, that's quite helpful because there's not a lot of room to work with. So I've already kind of taken everything apart. Let me go under here. That's just the bolt there. I'll show you what I mean. And I'll show you what we have to do. Here we go. Alright, here we are. As you can see, there's a sensor and I've already taken it off. Now you'll notice here, this is the bolt that goes in.
This drives into the trans directly, and it's held in with a 10 mil right over here. Now between this nut, oh, let me just kind of zoom that for you guys a little better. There we go. Oh, there. All right, so between here and here, there's this little clip. All right, here. There, you see it right up there? A little silver clip. There you go. So, how you have to do is, now I found the easiest way, if you could take your wheel off, it's even easier, but because I am using a ramp, I didn't bother to take the wheel off. But if you could jack up the car, take off the wheel, you can really get in there. Because I find the best way to get here is through the wheel well on the passenger side, front passenger, right? So I took my 10 mil socket, went up here, let me just get up here so I can show you guys. Up here, right? This is held on by the 10 mil clip. So I use my 10 mil socket from the right side over here and slowly work that nut. There's not a lot of room to work with. If you look around, you can see here, you've got all sorts of tubing. I believe that's for the AC unit. I'm fairly certain. I haven't took a great look at it, but I'm fairly certain it is. And of course, you've got your things like your exhaust. Again, you want to make sure everything is cold because you need to get in here, and if this stuff is hot, well, you're burning yourself. So you want to take off that first 10 mil, right? Which, as you saw, was the first part here. Once that's off, that's actually the easy part because it's just working it. It's kind of slow. It takes a little bit of time. It's working. It took me about 3 or 4 minutes. There's this. Now this is where that first part of the threaded nut kind of goes in. Again, let me just grab that again there. Oop, where did that go? There it is. Sorry, guys. There. So once you get this off, so this will come right out from the top. There. And then that part of that clip that for that wiring is around here. But as you can tell, it's very, very tight right there. It's got this kind of, jagged clip, and it's really meant to hold it in there, which is good and bad. It means it's can't come off under regular road conditions, but it's bad when you need to take this off. So that's where the flathead and especially that pick really came in handy as I try to work it. There's not a lot of room here to work. You can't really get a flathead in. There's the, your exhaust, your downpipe and everything is here. But of course, then you got the trans here. You've got all the engine and everything here. Not a lot of room to work with. So I had to slowly work it, coming in from here, working a bit, and then coming here and working a bit and getting it off. Not a lot of room that you can even try and leverage it and pull and just pull at it. Again, you want to be careful. You don't want to break these little metal clips depending on how worn it is. But there's not a lot of room to work with. So you want to take, that was the hardest part. That took right there about 10, 12 minutes. Just working it bit by bit by bit by bit until it came off. Once it came off, again, it came off of this part, the top part here. Again, 10 mil socket right onto here. And I just took that off. Not a lot of torque, very low torque, both of these bolts. So it's just a matter of working it bit by bit. In fact, the top part here, when I took that off, the first nut, I had to do the complete thing with the socket, which took a lot of time because there's a lot of rust and corrosion and just wear and tear over here. But this part, because it's directly in the trans, was easy. Just once I loosened it, I just went and I, by hand, again going from the top up here, just unthreaded it manually and took off nice and easy. Now before I pull that out, just let you know, you want to make sure that this whole area, before you even get started, it's clear from any debris, dust, dirt, and everything for 2 reasons. Number one, as you're working here, if you don't have goggles, luckily I have goggles, but if you don't have goggles, all that's going to fall on your face and everything, which is, gets in your eye, could be annoying, could be dangerous, things like that. The second thing, of course, is when you open this off, that's a direct line right into the trans there, right? So you want to avoid any contaminants or anything getting in there. Now, easily enough, once that comes off, this just pulls right out. See? Held on with a little gasket, and that's it. Let me just bring that down here. There we go. Now you can see there, it's got some grease on it, things like that as well. You'll notice here that it's held on with one little clip on the inside. So all you do is you get your screwdriver, put it right in there, pop that clip up, and this will come right off. Alright guys, so I'm about to go and put this back together, so I'll be right back. Sorry I can't do everything and show it to you guys, but one man, one hand. So I'm going to do this right now and I'll be right back.